of you, Bertha, for as long as I've been listening to the radio, actually.
Don't make me blush.
And I was one of those kids from like the age of 14. I would listen actively to radio. Like I would know which show is coming when, who's on at which time, whether it's the weekday schedules, whether it's the weekend schedules. So I've been listening to radio. You've been like a radio mother, and you don't even know.
Oh my word.
And you don't even know.
I don't even know. Can you believe it?
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you for letting me know now.
Well, no, I had to. And as for Lebo, well, I mean, it's fruit.
Oh, come on.
What's that emoji with the hearts?
I don't, yeah, that one.
And the hearts are in motion.
Yeah,
They're not just still. They're like.
Exactly.
Oh, whatever.
They're pulsating. You know what I'm saying?
He's a charmer, Miss E. He's a charmer. Watch him. He's trying to
I
charm
need
his
to
way
be
into
very
our heart.
careful. I must check our producer. She must just lock the door as soon as he leaves. You
Yeah.
say, yeah,
I said,
he leaves.
I'm harmless.
So that's more flavor. Let me just give you background, right? So a bit of background. Born Motsweli Tsiki. Jeez, do I have to say when you were born? Okay,
It depends on what you're looking for.
in Dube, Soweto. Let me just leave the rest out of it. So he's on air on our sister station, like I mentioned, which is directly opposite to us, and he's on the decks around the country. Absolutely, such a philanthropist. Very serious young man. You are so serious. Each time when I pass, after our show, and you do yours, you are so serious. You're serious with your work.
Well, I do a serious show, but serious is not like I'm not fun. I mean, nobody wants to be serious. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know?
But what I like is, there you are. In the afternoon, you do another job. So many talents. And I don't know when you do this that we've discovered you do, which is music on the other side. Has it always been something that you do all the time?
Look, I started DJing when I was 18. I was doing a trick, right? And one of my schoolmates at Northcliffe High, John Withers, who lived across the road from school, taught me how to DJ. And then I think he left the country afterwards, and then that was that. But the point is, my love for music started, many years ago, but specifically with house. It was the era when compilations were being released by Vinny Da Vinci and Christos and Glenn Lewis and Fresh and all of those guys. So, my love for house music has always been there. And then that, translated into the DJing part. And then after a couple of years when I was comfortable in the space, I decided, let me put some songs together. So it's like a journey. It doesn't just start from nowhere. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And at what point do you do this? At what time of the day? Because, I mean, during the day, you are here. At night, do you do it at night? Midnight?
It's an interesting question because every music producer, music maker has their own sort of way of working. I'm normally early in the day, so the morning sessions or the evening sessions. But evening sessions only during the week, because on the weekends I've got gigs, I'm in the clubs and wherever. So generally in the morning.
Okay.
And sometimes on that morning there's just no inspiration. There's no juice. But you have to make it work.
And you're one of those personalities I never see in the papers.
Yeah.
I never see you in funny well, let me not say funny tablets.
Yeah, because just now you'll be in there for calling them funny.
I know. Well, there's nothing to write about me. I'm so boring.
So maybe that's why I'm not in the tabloids, because I'm also boring.
No, you're not. We just need to dig deep.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what we need to do. That's what
No, not really. I think it's about what you put out there and what you want people to read about.
Yeah.
Because in the end, I always feel like a lot of the attention that some celebrities get is partly because they want that kind of attention. They've put themselves out in that manner, and the response in the form of what's been written in the tabloids and the gossip platforms and whatever is a result of that. So I don't think anybody cares about my scandals or whether I do it in the car or in the bedroom. People are just interested in what I do, which is what I do. Which is work.
Let's come back to music. Yeah? The song that we just played, the music. How did it all happen? How was it? How did you give birth to this?
So I've had a habit of listening to a lot of music by other producers, and I picked up this very talented producer by the name of Cairo. So we co-produced the beats together. The vocalist, Lelo Kamau, is a very talented young woman who I met through Moby Dixon, who's another DJ producer. And he was like, bro, there's this girl, man, she can sing. Check her out. So I checked out some of her stuff. She's very soulful, she does sort of neo-soul, Afro-soul. But I'm like, now here's the house beat. Hop onto this, let's go. And it was just about, because the feeling of the song is about a journey. It just takes you from one point to the next. almost like a trance, and hence even the name of the song. And I think when she wrote it, she kind of had the same feeling when she wrote the lyric and all of that. So that's how that song came about.
So how do you describe your sound?
I'm about what is buzzing on the streets, and by that I mean, the sound that's going to be popping, next. And I stay in touch with a lot of producers on the ground, not the guys that are well established. I know those guys, they're my boys, but it's about, what's coming up next that you always need to look at. So my sound is always governed by that. And it's difficult to know which song is going to be a hit and which song is not going to be a hit. Some of the biggest hits ever, the stories behind them are very peculiar, odd stories about how the song came about and the fact that we recorded it and put it away for a year and then the next thing it became a hit, whatever the case may be. So with me, it's just about keeping my ear on the ground and knowing what the next hot sound is.
Are you a songwriter?
I'm not a songwriter, and I think it's okay. Everybody has their own way of doing things. David Guetta doesn't write any of the songs that he puts out.
True.
I'm not comparing myself to David Guetta.
You're allowed to.
but I'm just driving a point. And I think if there are good songwriters out there, use them. People need to use them because that's what they enjoy doing.
So you have a new single out, Wamuhle Ntombazana.
Yes.
The video that got me running fast on the treadmill. And how did this come about?
So once again, I pick up a lot of music, man. People send me songs, people send me beats. It's a whole lot of stuff going on in my inbox. So I came across a collection of music from a producer by the name of Mega Drum, and I was like, this guy is good. So I got in touch with him. Eventually we got into studio, we played around a bit, and we came up with this idea. And then I featured a very talented rapper by the name of Jolondi and a singer by the name of Young Scar. And we just jammed in studio until something came together. I've never featured a rapper and a singer on one song. So that was kind of interesting. And it sounds nothing like the way we recorded it. It sounds very different. The recording sessions are always going to be different to the final product, especially with house music.
And how is it being received?
Well, so far so good. You saw the video on TV, which is encouraging on my part. And then, a bit of radio airplay, and I say a bit because, I don't want to blow my own horn, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, so the reception is cool. And the song is just about celebrating women and their beauty. And not just physically, like you guys. No, it's also about the internal beauty that you guys possess. The inner you is just as important as the outer. And sometimes it's just correct for a person to say, you know what, Bertha, you're beautiful.
That's true.
Lebo, you are so beautiful today. Wamuhle Ntombazana.
And we don't get to hear that.
You see what I mean? And I'm not going to ask you when last you were told you're beautiful because, I might just shock the world. That's it.
If I was an emoji right now, my eyeballs would be facing the back of my head.
Rolling my eyes.
The back of my head. But anyway, I ain't an emoji, so the eyes are still in the same place. When we get back, I got Wamuhle Ntombazana from Flava, and the video has hot.
I'm watching it now.
Hotness. I was about to say hot something else, but hotness.
But it's also got wetness. No, as in we have
yeah,
a pool.
there are people are swimming.
Yeah.
There's
So
water.
hotness and wetness. I mean,
There are people.
and thickness
I
as
think
well.
guys leave it there, hey?
Yeah, I think that,
Yeah.
we're going left.
Yeah, no, just leave it alone. Leave it alone. I didn't know this was